Over the past couple of weeks, I've been really thinking about how I want to take my content creation more seriously this year. But first I had to answer the question, which I thought would be a good video to make here, just so to let you guys know why watch Drew, why take in his content, and why give him your valuable time when there's many other creators online that have amazing content as well. But that's also something that I had to answer for myself and think through, because I've only got so much time when it comes to my hobbies. So when it comes to doing YouTube, podcasts, all of the creative stuff, but also just actually playing video games, doing sport on the weekends, and just all of the stuff that takes up that little amount of free time. Especially for me, I think a lot of people will be able to relate if you're a parent, but I'm a father of 2 kids, got a beautiful wife, all of that. And of course, a lot of time must be put into that, as well as here on the farm, which is my day job, as well as other jobs that I do casually as well. So I've got to really pick and choose when it comes to what I want to do. And I had to really focus on that, because it isn't just the time that I put into this, it's the money as well. I bought a camera that wasn't cheap. I bought microphones that weren't cheap, all of that type of thing. So it comes down to why. Why would I want to do that? Financially, time-wise, all of that. But the question is immediately answered when I just think about it that little bit. And that's because I love video games. Video games are something that I've loved for many years. I think since I've been like 10 years old. I was a little bit late. I'm not one of those 4-year-olds with an NES controller or anything like that. I fell in love with video games when I got my copy of Pokemon Sapphire with my Game Boy Advance SP when I was 9 years old. And ever since then, it evolved into something else that was, I don't know, you could call it an obsession, you could call it a passion. Depends on what side of the spectrum you want to paint me as. I think a little bit of both. Sometimes, of course, gaming has its negatives when a new game comes out and you might just want to play it and that's all you want to think about. But I think the joy that has brought me over the years far outweighs any negative aspect that gaming has brought me. And for me, living in a small town over the years, I had my friends during high school, we'd talk about the latest games. Of course, I was always a big Nintendo kid, always loved talking about the latest games coming out, and eventually getting a PlayStation Vita, Xbox 360, PS3. That's when I broadened my horizons and started really enjoying other titles from other consoles. And I haven't really looked back since. I've always been playing on all the consoles, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, and even this year, I've done the unthinkable. I'm playing on PC, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, I'm playing them. So while they're sort of handhelds, I guess you could say I'm a bit of a PC gamer, I'll be upgrading my bloody RTX 4090 any day now. I'll be bloody chucking up those graphics cards in no time, but I've just always found so much passion in video games. And it isn't just playing them either. Like, I love picking up a game and really enjoying it. Whether it's gameplay focused or it is all about the story, the characters, the immersion. I think for me, storytelling in video games is so powerful, and it's really started with stuff on the PlayStation. Obviously, you can point to what Naughty Dog have done. They're just pioneers in the genre, and a lot of other PlayStation studios have followed on suit from what they've been doing. With Ghost of Tsushima and other stuff. God of War, obviously, have went in another massive direction. But storytelling in video games, man, it's something so special because you are in those characters' shoes. I've been really enjoying TV shows over the past few months, like The Boys, Invincible, a bunch of stuff. The Fallout TV show was fantastic. But the video game stories I get immersed in, man, it is just unreal. I remember something as simple as like The Walking Dead. I think it was episode 2 back in 2012 when it came out. And it was like the cannibal episode of The Walking Dead. I don't want to do any spoilers, but even something as simple as making choices, walking around talking to people, doing some slight puzzles, the amount of fear I felt in that section because I was put into Lee's shoes was just absolutely unreal, like nothing I've ever experienced before then. a genuine fear for somebody who I cared about and put me in the shoes of that character, which actually gave me an impulse reaction to put my thumb forward on the stick and move forward to try and save who I truly cared about in that game. It's something that I've never experienced before in any other medium. So when it comes to just storytelling in video games, it's amazing. And just on the complete flip side, no story whatsoever. You're able to have just real competitive experiences with your friends, family, and even some cases go on to like really compete for prizes, money, all of that stuff. And that's something that I experienced on like, you know, a sort of a small scale when it came to just my friends. With Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Halo, all of that type of thing. You didn't care about a story, you didn't care about why all those Nintendo characters were together, but there was a magic to like wanting to beat your friends, better them, and then go back to your console, play a little bit more, practice, come back, and just really live out that competitive atmosphere in a real fun way with your friends, which was just a really special time. It's not so much there now for me. You know, I've only got so much time, and I usually like to put it into stories and experiences and fun arcade experiences. While I still love Super Smash Brothers, you know, my best friend Bryce and I, we're not competing on the same level we were when we were kids, but it's just a really special thing for gaming. So, and of course, there's just the industry itself. The industry is a really interesting and evolving sort of place for creatives and business and all of this stuff. But I just find it really interesting. I find it interesting the behind the scenes of how these games are made, how these games are marketed, how these games are sort of designed around even like the real scummy stuff, like the microtransactions and things like that, like how that implements like design choices and things like that. It's just really interesting to me, the whole sort of cube of what makes the gaming industry, the communities, the competitive aspect, everything about that just really sort of tickles my whistle, if you know what I mean. I don't know why I made it that. That makes it sound real sexual. I didn't mean to do that at all. Doesn't tickle my whistle. It salivates my palate. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's it's really interesting. So for me, back to what I initially set out to say, is that I want to share this passion with other people online. When I started podcasting, I found a great community of people that love video games just as much, and hell, maybe there's some crazy people out there who love them more than me. But it's been really sort of great to meet those people and talk with them, meet them over the years, whether it's been going to events like PAX Australia. And I want to expand on that from what I was doing. I was doing a podcast, which I love podcasts. They're some of my favorite things to do throughout the day, is listen to that while I'm at work and all of that thing. But I want to sort of broaden my horizons and do some more focused, topic-based content that I can talk about a big range of things. I can do previews, reviews, just talk about certain topics in the gaming industry and just get really creative with it here on my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm out here to do. And I hope that I can bring some value to you guys. Because for me, there is no weird console tribalism. There's no just like negative aspect. If there's a certain game that I'm like, you're wasting my time, I don't like you, I simply won't talk about it. Because there are so many other games that are worth time to talk about. Whether it's like the latest and greatest indie game, it might even be an indie game that nobody's talking about, but I've found somehow through the doldrums of Steam or something like that. Or it could be just just a range of things. I don't understand why people need to be so negative. I know that it generates clicks and things like this. I don't understand why that's all that necessary. But yes, I hope you can join me for the rest of this, because it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be great. So if you want to stick around, please do. We're going to have a lot more topics here. You can listen to this on the YouTube channel or the podcast feed, and we can go from that way. But I want to leave you with a question. Why do you love video games? And it could be because it gets you out of a tough moment. It could be because it's just a lot of fun. You can wind down from it. Or it might be something that really sparks your creative outlet and allows you to think beyond what you're doing in your everyday life. I don't know. It could be something as serious or as simple as you like it to be. But thank you very much, guys, and happy gaming.